Hello everyone, this video goes through the story of like a dragon, Gaiden, the man who erased his name. After the events in Hiroshima, Kiryu fakes his own death to protect himself and the children of Morning Glory Orphanage, hoping to finally leave the life of violence behind. He takes on the name of Jolio and decides to live a peaceful life in a Buddhist temple in Yokohama. The Daidoji faction, who secretly controlled the Japanese government from the shadows, however, reserved the right to send him out on jobs through his handler, Kanawa. The faction has received a job through the American CIA to help guard a shipment of gold bullion to help fund a foreign revolutionary resistance group, with Hanawa and Kiryu as part of the team. However, the truck with the gold turns out to be carrying violent masked men instead. A few of them attempt to kidnap Hanawa in a scuffle, but Kiryu stops them and they are forced to escape. The next day, upon returning to the temple, Hanawa tells Kiryu that someone pretended to be the revolutionaries in order to set up an entire charade, and a filled truck with men who are probably Yakuza aiming to kidnap Hanawa, though he is unsure why. Hanawa asks him to look into the Seiryu clan, a local Yakuza organization, to see if they were involved. Kiryu is unable to find evidence that Seiryu was involved, but someone tips him off to Kiryu's presence, forcing Kiryu to fight them off. Afterwards, Kiryu lures his tail into a parking garage, forcing them into a fight. They reveal themselves as members of Omi Alliance, with their reign leader Yuki Tsuno, captain of Watase family. Tsuno says that the incident at Docks was actually to flush Kiryu himself out from hiding, thinking that it could interrogate out Kiryu's whereabouts from Hanawa. Hanawa himself shows up to drive Tsuno back to the temple for further interrogation, but the car is rammed by a truck as Kiryu is attacked again, this time by the man in a Hanya mask from before, who turns out to be Watase Lieutenant Kosei Shishido. After fighting to a draw, Tsuno and Shishido go back to the original plan and kidnap Hanawa as leverage to get Kiryu to follow them. Tsuno tosses Kiryu a burner phone, warning him that Hanawa's life will be forfeit if he doesn't answer. However, after running from Yokohama police, Kiryu's phone is taken by another Daidoji agent, who suspects his loyalty and escorts him back to the temple. With a monk's help, Kiryu gets his phone back and fights off the Daidoji men. Then he turns on the phone just in time to receive a call from Tsuno to meet in a Yokohama bar. Tsuno offers to protect Kiryu and his orphanage from Daidoji retribution if he will join Watase family instead. However, Kiryu is wary of trading one cruel master for another, and instead demands that they give back Hanawa. Tsuno gets frustrated by Kiryu's stonewalling and denying his true identity, then gives him a lead through which he can find Hanawa in Sotenbori of Osaka. In Sotenbori, Kiryu meets Akame, a red-headed woman who acts as an info broker. He gives Kiryu access to her office and a couch to rest on, and promises to help him reach a place called Castle upon seeing the lead Kiryu shows her, but only after he can help her set up the network around Sotenbori by rescuing some homeless men from local Yakuza thugs. Then Akame escorts Kiryu to the castle via helicopter, which turns out to be an Omi-run amusement park, built into the hull of an old container ship in Osaka Bay, where the rich and well-connected can indulge in their darkest desires. Kiryu runs into Shishido again, who tells him to compete serious fights in the castle's Coliseum if he wants to know where Hanawa is being held. He fights through a series of challengers set up by the castle ruler, Homare Nishitani, and meets with Shishido again, not understanding why Kiryu continues to hide his true identity of Dragon of Dojima, and after another failed attempt to persuade him to join Omi, Shishido tells Kiryu that Hanawa is being held in an office building back in Sotenbori. Tsuno has filled the building with his men, but Kiryu is undeterred and fights his way to the top, where a bloodied Hanawa is strapped to a chair. The battle carries over to the rooftop, where Kiryu finally beats Tsuno and frees Hanawa. In a desperate attempt, Tsuno tells Kiryu that increasing harshness in anti-gang laws around the country are driving the Yakuza as a whole to extinction, forced to either be enslaved to the government or get thrown in prison with little provocation. To counter this, the heads of Omi Alliance and the Dojo clan plan to officially dissolve their groups so they can no longer be the government's target, and Kiryu is needed as a bodyguard to help deal with the potential backlash of this announcement. After recalling his beloved ones, having stood fast in their ideals, but ended up dying in the end, Kiryu once again says his name is Jorio and turns Tsuruno over to Hanawa. In a safe house, the head of Daidoji tells Kiryu that he must kill all the Omi Yakuza members who knows his true identity, including Tsuruno and Shishido. When Kiryu is forced to point Tsuruno with a gun, however, he can't bring himself to kill. Instead, by holding Hanawa as hostage, he helps Tsuruno escape while fighting off all the Daidoji agents, until Hanawa forces him to stop by threatening with the Morning Glory orphanage. After several days in confinement, Kiryu is set out only to be put under execution, but Hanawa firmly stands on his dead and refuses to shoot. Then arrives an old man, the Daidoji boss, who states that Kiryu's life is spared because Tsuruno, on behalf of Omi Alliance, has offered 15 billion yen in assets in exchange. Then Kiryu meets Tsuruno at the castle where he is debriefed on the situation. Tsuruno states that there will be some opposition to the dissolution, such as Nishitani himself, for which he will need to be removed first. At the same time, Nishitani begins to take interest in Jorio's presence after his spectacular performance at the Coliseum Prior. Though Tsuruno and Kiryu attempt to avoid him and leave, Nishitani's men forcibly stop them from doing so, resulting in a fight between Kiryu and Nishitani. Though easily being defeated, Nishitani ascertains Kiryu's true identity as the Dragon of Dojima. An angered Nishitani calls Kiryu to meet at a golfing center in Sotenbori, though it was a trap by the Keijin clan to take out Kiryu. Fortunately, a masked Shishido arrives to assist Kiryu. Then the two head out to Nishitani's location and storm his warehouse base, with Kiryu ultimately entering battle with Nishitani. With Kiryu's victory and the building now burning, Kiryu asks Shishido to bring the unconscious Nishitani out, but Shishido stabs him instead, which seemingly kills him. Returning to the Sotenbori, Kiryu is presented to great Watase, the Omi chairman, who has just been released from prison. When Watase breathes from his plan of dissolve Omi alliance, Shishido, however, reveals himself to be actually against the dissolution and betrays Watase and Tsuruno. He faked Nishitani's death previously and the two attempt to stage a coup in order to grab Omi alliance for their own. Finally, they are defeated by Kiryu. With Akame and Hanawa's help, Kiryu, Tsuruno, and Watase head to Omi headquarters to attend the dissolution. The dissolution and suppression of Omi troops is successful with the help of Kazuga, whom Kiryu thanks greatly. After the fight, with assurance that his children in Morning Glory orphanage are safe, Kiryu sets out on a long-needed vacation.